Hi everyone. It seems that the NHL playoffs have taken a turn for the worse, sadly. I mean, I'm all for competition and, intense competition between the teams, but at the same time, I kind of think it's a bit sad, really, because in perhaps the most interesting and maybe the most important series that's happening in the playoffs right now, most people will be aware that the Pittsburgh Penguins have won 2 in a row, and so now the Flyers only win by 3-2, and it's looking like the Penguins could possibly come back and maybe even win the series. I don't know. It would be a shame considering how well the Flyers played early, and considering the fact that I don't think that Sid Crosby I don't think Sid Crosby really set a good example for his team, either with how he kept saying that he didn't like anyone on the Flyers team, and that he was adamant that they didn't like him either, and yet as soon as the Flyers lost their first one, some of their key players like Claude Giroux and Jaromir Jagr were praising the plays that the Penguins made, and they took it well, and it admitted that they needed to improve the game, and essentially said that the Penguins were better than them that night, which is really a far cry from how Sid Crosby behaved after his Penguins kept losing the first games. So yeah, even if the Flyers do end up somehow losing this series, I'll still be proud of them, and I'll still think of them as winners in a sense, because of how they were the mature team, with how they handled the loss better, and they were the first ones to praise the other team, and so far I don't think any of the Penguins have praised the Flyers at all yet, and I just think that's sad, really. I thought it was extreme as well, the way Al Crosby said he didn't like any of the Flyers, and yet before Jaromir Jagr became a Flyer at the start of this season, he was toying with the idea of becoming a Penguin again, and I remember reading interviews before he came back to the NHL, and he said that Sid Crosby and Evgeny Malkin were some of the players that he praised on the Penguins team, and he said that he would have liked to play alongside them. I can't remember for sure, seeing as how it was the summer of last year, but I digress. And I'm saddened that the Detroit Red Wings are out so early, after just 5 games in the first round. They're one of my favourite teams, and I wanted them to go far this year, even though I didn't want them to win, that is, but I still like having them in the playoffs, because I think it makes it entertaining, well, more entertaining, really. I mean, it'll still be entertaining because NHL hockey always is, regardless of who's playing. And as for San Jose, they're one of my main teams that I want to win the cup, and now they're 3-1 behind the St. Louis Blues, and in all honesty, I'm prepared for the Sharks to go out now, and I think they will because they've never really had much success when it comes to overcoming deficits in the playoffs in the past, and they have a history of giving up the early games and then panicking when they're on the verge of elimination and trying to make the big comeback, but I don't think they've ever made that big comeback, and so yeah, it's sad to say, but I think it's bye-bye San Jose for this year as well. First round exit, which is just terrible for a team that has so much talent and is so good offensively when they want to be, but oh well, what can you do? Anyway, I'm looking forward to the next Pittsburgh versus Philadelphia game, and I think that the Flyers will probably win this upcoming game because in the last game that they played was in Pittsburgh in front of all Pittsburgh's fans, and it was a close game, and you can bet that the Penguins were probably scared at the end when the Flyers were getting all those shots on goal and were getting close to evening the score. So I'm sure that with the Flyers having found their feet now and playing better than they did in Game 4, I'm sure that Game 6 will be the one where they win, seeing as how they'll be playing at home, and which means that they'll probably eliminate the Penguins, so let's hope so. Bye everyone.